Mr. Baird.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I'd like to start my comments. I appreciate you being here, Mr. Secretary, but I want to express my appreciation to the Gold Star families that are here today. And I also want to express my sorrow for your loss. And one of those was Corporal Humberto Sanchez from my area, Logansport, Indiana. So I just want to make that on the record because of their sacrifice. But, Mr. Secretary, I have questions about whether or not you've expressed opposition to the unconditional withdrawal to the President or Mr. Sullivan or to NATO, because on April 21st, you made a visit to Brussels to talk with NATO, and after your visit, you made an unannounced visit to Afghanistan on April 15th, 2021. Could you give us some idea what the purpose of that visit? And then what information did you bring back and share with the President from this unannounced visit?
Thank you. The purpose of the visit was to see for myself the situation on the ground in Afghanistan, to hear directly from our embassy how they were pursuing the mission, our diplomatic mission, our mission to bring more SIVs out, and also to talk to Afghans, not just from the government, but from across society, which I did on that trip, to hear from them how they saw the situation as it was evolving. And that was a very informative trip, as were my many discussions at NATO with our allies and partners throughout that period. Now, I'm not going to share the advice or counsel that I gave to the President. That's between me and him. Having said that, I think what we were looking to do was to see if we could get the Taliban to meet its requirements under the agreement, particularly to engage in a negotiation with the Afghan government, to have not only an enduring ceasefire, but also to have a political transition in Afghanistan. We worked on that until the day that the Afghan president, Ghani, fled. In fact, I was on the phone to him the night before he fled on August the 14th, in which he told me that he wanted to continue working on getting an agreement with the Taliban, but if he couldn't, he would stay and fight to the death. And he left the next day. So that my trip back then obviously helped to inform our diplomacy, our approach to what we were trying to do, and I wish we could have gotten, obviously, the Taliban to agree to meet its commitments, but we didn't.
So thank you. The thing I'm also interested in, do you feel that the President acted on any of the information that you brought back to him from that meeting? And was it any coincidence that the President announced an unconditional withdrawal just 6 days after you had that meeting with him?
The President absolutely factors in, and I know for firsthand, the information, the ideas, the recommendations that I bring to him, that many others in the administration bring to him, and we have a very deliberate process for working through all of these issues. And he's insisted from day one on hearing from everyone, on making sure that we're all questioning our assumptions, our biases going in. That's the way he operates. But ultimately, he has to make the decisions. We can all give our recommendations and advice. He's the one who has to make the judgments. He's the one that makes the final call. Again, it was our effort and our policy to see the Taliban meet its obligations. It didn't. But I remind, again, that we had a deadline that was bequeathed to us, and during that period, from the Doha Agreement to the evacuation, the Taliban agreed that it would not attack our forces or partner forces. It would stay away from the cities. Had we not fulfilled the Doha Agreement in terms of removing our forces from Afghanistan, those attacks would have resumed on us, on our partners, on the cities, and as I said, it would have required sending in thousands more Americans to defend against those attacks and to try to hold on to Afghanistan.